Getting pulled over is stressful. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and you're already thinking about how late you're going to be. But here's the thing most people don't realize. You have way more control over how long that traffic stop lasts than you think. I'm going to share some insider knowledge that can help you get back on the road as quickly as possible and maybe even drive away without a ticket. First, let's talk about what's really happening during a traffic stop. That officer isn't just writing you a ticket. They're making constant assessments from the moment they decide to pull you over. Are you a threat? Are you cooperative? Are you hiding something? Are you going to escalate this situation? Every single thing you do from the moment those lights go on is being evaluated and cataloged. And here's the key that most people miss. The faster you can make that officer feel safe and confident in their assessment of you, the faster you're leaving that interaction and getting back to your day. Traffic stops are fundamentally about control and safety from the officer's perspective. They've chosen to interact with a complete stranger in one of the most vulnerable positions possible, standing on the side of a road with cars flying by, not knowing anything about who you are or what you might do. Understanding this psychology is the foundation of everything else I'm going to tell you. So, hack number one, pull over immediately and correctly. I know this sounds obvious, but you'd be shocked how many people mess this up and immediately set the wrong tone. The second you see those lights, start slowing down and put your turn signal on. This tells the officer you're complying and you're aware of them. Don't drive for another mile looking for the perfect spot unless you're genuinely in danger or on a highway with no shoulder. Every second you keep driving, that officer is wondering if you're about to flee, if you're hiding something under your seat, if you're loading a weapon, or if you're about to bail out and run. Their stress level is climbing with every second that passes. Find the first safe spot, pull over as far to the right as possible, and stop completely. If it's dark, find a well-lit area if you can do so within a few seconds. But don't keep driving past multiple safe spots just to find better lighting. If it's going to take more than 10 or 15 seconds to find lighting, just pull over. The key is showing immediate compliance. This immediately reduces their stress level and their suspicion, which means they're already thinking about wrapping this up quickly instead of wondering what kind of situation they're walking into. Hack number two, kill your engine and turn on your interior light if it's dark. The moment you stop, turn off your car completely. Take your keys out if you want to go the extra mile. If it's nighttime or even dusk, flip on that dome light immediately. Why does this matter so much? Because officers approach every single traffic stop, even routine ones, not knowing if this is going to be a simple speeding ticket or if their life is about to be in danger. It sounds dramatic, but that's the reality of their job. When you light up your interior, you're showing them everything. They can see your hands, they can see who's in the car, they can see if you're reaching for something, and they're not walking up to a dark vehicle wondering what's waiting for them on the other side of that window. This simple move can cut serious minutes off your stop because the officer feels safer and can focus on the traffic violation instead of officer safety concerns. A relaxed officer moves faster. A nervous officer takes their time, asks more questions, and looks for reasons to extend the interaction. Here's hack number three, and this one's huge. Have your documents ready, but keep your hands visible first. As soon as you've stopped and turned off the car, keep both hands on the steering wheel at 10 and 2 where the officer can clearly see them through your rear window as they approach. Don't start digging through your glove box yet. Don't reach for your wallet yet. Just sit there with your hands visible. When the officer approaches and gets to your window, roll it down all the way, not just a crack. A fully open window is non-threatening. Then they're going to ask for your license, registration, and insurance. Here's exactly what you say. Officer, my license is in my wallet, in my back pocket. My registration is in the glove compartment, and my insurance card is in there too. May I reach for them? Then wait for them to say yes before you move. This does something incredibly powerful. It shows respect, it keeps the officer feeling in control and safe, and it prevents that moment of panic when they see you reaching somewhere and don't know why. You're narrating your actions, which means there are no surprises. Officers who feel safe move faster. Officers who are nervous take their time, call for backup, and become more suspicious of everything you do. When you reach for your documents, Move slowly and deliberately. Don't make any quick movements. Hand everything over together if possible, and then put your hands back on the steering wheel. Before we move on to hack number 4, I want to remind you that if you need legal help or want to learn more about dealing with the police, check out the link in the description after finishing the video. Hack number 4, master the art of the explanation without the excuse. When the officer asks if you know why they pulled you over, this is a crucial moment. Never say no or act confused unless you genuinely have no idea. That makes them have to explain everything to you like you're clueless, which takes time and can make you seem like you're playing games. Instead, if you genuinely know what you did, own it immediately and briefly. Yes, officer, I believe I was going too fast. Or, I think my registration might be expired. Or, my taillight is probably out. Keep it short and factual. Don't give a long story about why you were speeding or where you're going or how late you are unless they specifically ask for details. Here's the thing. The more you talk, the longer you're sitting there. The more you explain and justify, the more they have to process and evaluate and potentially question. If they want your life story, they'll ask. Otherwise, a simple acknowledgement keeps things moving smoothly. But here's the nuance that's important. If you genuinely have no idea why you were stopped, and you can't think of anything you might have done wrong, it's perfectly okay to politely say, "I'm not certain, officer," or "I don't believe so. Could you tell me?" Just don't be defensive or confrontational about it. The goal is to be cooperative and honest without volunteering information that extends the conversation or gives them more reasons to investigate further. Hack number 5. Understand the 2 types of traffic stops and respond accordingly. There are ticket stops and warning stops. And here's a secret most people don't know. An officer usually decides which one it's going to be within the first 30 to 45 seconds of talking to you. Your attitude, your demeanor, your level of cooperation, how you pulled over, whether you have your documents ready, all of it factors into that decision almost immediately. If you're polite, prepared, calm, and respectful, you massively increase your chances of getting a warning instead of a ticket. But here's the trick that trips people up. Don't ask if you're getting a ticket. Don't ask for a warning. Don't say, "Can you please just give me a warning this time?" That puts pressure on the officer and can actually backfire because now they feel like you're trying to manipulate the situation. Instead, just be so cooperative and respectful that they want to give you a warning on their own. Let them be the good guy. Let them feel like they're making a choice to help you out. When they go back to their car to run your information, they're making that choice based on everything that just happened. Everything you did in that first interaction is what they're thinking about while they sit there looking at your driving record. Hack number 6. Silence is golden while you wait. After the officer takes your documents and goes back to their patrol car, this is a critical period that people often mess up. Sit still and wait quietly. Keep your hands on the steering wheel or at least clearly visible. Don't make phone calls to tell people you got pulled over. Don't start texting your friends. Don't be digging around in your center console or reaching into the back seat. Just sit there patiently with your hands visible. Some people think this doesn't matter because the officer isn't right there watching, but they absolutely are watching you. They're sitting in their car, running your license and registration, and they're looking at you in their computer screen or glancing up at your vehicle constantly. If you're acting nervous, fidgety, or suspicious, if you're making furtive movements or reaching around, that simple traffic stop can turn into a much longer and more complicated interaction. They might come back and start asking more questions about where you're going, what you're doing, whether they can search your vehicle. They might call for backup if they think something is off. Sit calmly, face forward, maybe adjust your mirror or take a breath, but otherwise just wait. The calmer and more patient you appear, the faster this ends. You're showing them you're not a threat and you're not trying to hide anything. Here's hack number 7. When the officer comes back, take your medicine gracefully, regardless of the outcome. Whether it's a ticket or a warning, your response matters for how quickly you leave. If you get a warning, a genuine "thank you, officer, I really appreciate that, have a safe day," ends the interaction immediately and positively. You're done. You can leave. Don't linger and chat unless they want to. Just thank them and ask if you're free to go. If you get a ticket, and I know this is hard to hear, arguing on the side of the road accomplishes absolutely nothing except making the stop take longer and potentially getting you additional tickets that you didn't have before. Officers have discretion. They can write you for multiple violations if they want to. That broken taillight you didn't know about? Now it's a second ticket. That air freshener hanging from your mirror? In some states, that's an obstruction violation. Just accept the ticket calmly, say thank you for their time, and ask when you're free to leave. Yes, say thank you even though you're getting a ticket. You're thanking them for their professionalism and for ending the interaction, not for the ticket itself. You can fight the ticket in court later if you want to. You can hire a lawyer. You can go to traffic court. You can present your case to a judge. But the side of the road is not the place for a legal debate. The faster you accept the outcome with grace, the faster you're driving away and getting on with your life. Hack number 8, know your rights, but don't flex them unnecessarily. Yes, you have constitutional rights. You don't have to consent to vehicle searches without probable cause. You don't have to answer questions beyond providing identification and documents. You have the right to remain silent. But here's the reality that civil rights advocates don't always tell you. The more you invoke your rights during a simple traffic stop for speeding or a broken taillight, the longer it takes and the more suspicious you appear to the officer. If an officer asks where you're coming from or where you're headed, a simple truthful answer gets you out of there faster than saying, I don't have to answer that question. If they ask if you know why they pulled you over, answering honestly is faster than refusing to respond. Save the serious rights invocation for serious situations where you're actually being investigated for a crime or where they're trying to search your vehicle without cause. For a basic speeding ticket or equipment violation, just cooperate, be polite, answer reasonable questions briefly, and move on with your day. Every time you refuse to answer a basic question or make a point about your constitutional rights during a routine stop, you're adding minutes or even tens of minutes to that interaction because now the officer is wondering what you're hiding and why you're being so defensive. They might call for a K-9 unit. They might wait for backup. They might decide to write you for every possible violation they can find. It's just not worth it for a traffic ticket. The final hack: understand what not to do, because these mistakes can turn a 5-minute stop into an hour-long ordeal. Don't pull out your phone and start filming the officer aggressively with the camera in their face from the start. Yes, you have the right to record, but being aggressive about it sets a hostile tone. If you want to record for your protection, set your phone up passively on your dashboard facing forward. Tell the officer calmly that you're recording for both of your protection, and leave it at that. Don't argue about the law or try to debate the legal justification for the stop. Don't tell the officer they're wrong about the speed limit or the law. Don't threaten to report them or call their supervisor or mention that you're going to sue. Don't name drop and say your friend is a cop or your uncle is a judge or, the mayor. Officers are not impressed by your connections or your amateur legal knowledge, and these tactics almost always backfire. They just want to complete the stop safely, do their job, and move on to the next call or patrol area. The biggest secret to a fast traffic stop: make it easy for the officer to feel safe, make it easy for them to do their job efficiently, and make it easy for them to let you go. Remove all friction from the process. Here's the bottom line that wraps all of this together. A traffic stop takes as long as it takes based almost entirely on how you handle it. You can turn a 5-minute interaction into a 30-minute ordeal with a bad attitude, poor preparation, and defensive behavior. Or you can be smart, strategic, and respectful, and be back on the road before your GPS has time to reroute. Pull over immediately when you see the lights, light up your car's interior if it's dark, keep your hands visible on the steering wheel, have your documents ready but ask permission before reaching. Be polite and respectful in every interaction. Own your mistake briefly if you know what you did wrong. Stay calm and still while you wait for the officer to run your information. Accept the outcome gracefully, whether it's a warning or a ticket. And don't create friction by being argumentative or overly defensive about your rights during a routine stop. Do these things consistently, and you'll be shocked at how fast these interactions end. The officer gets to move on to the next call, feeling good about the interaction, and you get back to your life with minimal disruption. That's the real win. That's how you end a traffic stop fast. If you found this video helpful and want to learn more about how to deal with police or get legal help, check the link in the description.